Hello, Stampers, and welcome to another episode of Make It Monday with me, your host, Laura Buechler of Inkyfingers Papercrafting. So excited to be here with you live as I am every Monday to remind you that creativity is fun, creativity is good for us, and creativity is for everyone, even you. Yes, all of you watching, even those of you who aren't watching, creativity is for all of us. So we are going to make a beautiful card together today. We've got lots of little details and lots of little techniques to do. So I'm going to jump in right away to get that started. And I want to remind you, let's see, let's pull that over there. I have a virtual class of 16 videos with that all feature this bundle, the Fern and Flora bundle. So there's a virtual class that you can take at your convenience, using your own supplies in your own craft room. 16 videos, 16 project tutorials, all featuring the Fern and Flora bundle. And you can find it at inkyfingers.ca/on-demand and find your inspiration for this bundle and many, many more. Okay, let's get started. So I have got my card base and mats all cut, and I have many pieces of scrap cardstock that we're going to use to make all the ferns and flowers and bits and pieces that go on this card. So that's where I'm going to start, is with stamping to get those pieces ready, and then we'll do the die cutting, and then we'll do the assembly. All right, let's see. I want to start with, oh yeah, here's all my stamps over here. I want to give you a little view of this Fern and Flora bundle. So this is the stamp set. Lots of beautiful stamps. And then I like to keep my bundles in one package together. So I have all the dies there in the same package as well. And there's the item number and the price. If you are interested in buying that, you can do so at my website, inkyfingers.ca. And that kind of support is exactly the kind of support that keeps me going with my crafting and my teaching and my demonstrating and making these videos and all the great stuff that you've come to know and love about Inkyfingers Papercrafting. Okay, I'm going to start with this little stamp, and I want my Secret Sea ink. And this is just a very pretty little flower stamp. And I'm actually going to color that in. And shout out, by the way, to Karina Chin. So Karina did a similar card with this bundle, with this suite, and she made it into a fancy fold card. I am not doing a fancy fold card. I'm just doing a simple, ordinary fold card, but I took inspiration from the way that she clustered these ferns together and her sentiment and everything. So thank you very much, Karina Chin, another fabulous demonstrator, providing inspiration. That's what we love to do as demonstrators. So I love this little stamp that goes exactly with the die. It coordinates perfectly and cuts those little corners. I think that looks really sharp. Okay, and then I'm going to add my sentiment in Secret Sea. You make the world a better place. What a gorgeous sentiment. Who can you think of in your life that you could give this card to that would say, you make the world a better place? If you're lucky, you know at least one person who makes the world a better place. In fact, you might be that person who makes the world a better place. Okay, I think that's all I need to stamp on white. Now I'm going to go into my Golden Glow, and I'm going to stamp my little, is it a moth or is it a butterfly? I'm sure there's people out there who could tell me the difference. I don't know the difference. I just think it's beautiful. That's all that matters to me. Okay, that's all the stamping on that. And then I need to stamp on soft seafoam. This is my very last piece of soft seafoam cardstock that is big enough for this project. Can you believe it? I guess I have to order some more. Fortunately, Stampin' Up! Had a free shipping sale. Was it last week? Maybe the week before? And I got some got some extra cardstock, but I didn't get soft seafoam. I've got to add that to my cart for next time. All right, so let's stamp that there. And I bet I can fit another one on here. Let's see if I'm right. It's just curving the wrong way. Oh, I think I can do it. Look at that. Ta-da! 2 beautiful pieces of fern on soft seafoam cardstock. Okay, that might be all the stamping I need to do. And now it's die cut city. Let's get my fabulous little machine, my mini version of the Stampin' Up cut and emboss machine, whose name is Will. Where there's a will, there's a way. And I will cut these dies. Okay. So we've got all kinds of die cutting to do. I got this really cool. Isn't this fabulous? This was actually designed for quilters or sewers. It's a magnet wrapped in wood, beautiful wood. And my friends bought this for me at a craft market a couple of years ago, and I love it. I use it to keep my dies on. So that's really handy if you have, you're doing a bunch of die cutting like I am today, and you just want to put all your dies in a spot when you're not using them. You don't want them to get all over your desk and lose track of what you're doing. I love to put them on my little magnet here. Okay, what else? I'm going to do my, oh yes, let's do my golden glow. I can do the little moth / butterfly. And then I can also do the little flowers. Again, shout out to Karina Chin, because until I saw her card design, I did not know what these dies were for. Well, one die, many shapes. I thought, what is this? Is this like some little miniature butterflies? No, it's flowers. I had no idea. Okay, that's about all that I can fit on here. Let's move this down. There we go. Put it through. Oh, wait. My little butterfly die moved. I want to fix that. I love to use my washi tape or a little bit of Post-it note tape to hold those dies in place. Obviously, I didn't stick that one down firmly enough. Let's try that again. There we go. Okay. So as I cut my pieces, I'm just going to put them off to the side. There's my little butterfly. Oh, so pretty. And all these cute little flowers. Wait till you see how they come together. As soon as I saw them put together, I was like, why didn't I figure that out? But you know what? I didn't. And that's okay. Sometimes you need to see somebody else do it first. Okay, so let's do these two. I'm just going to cut this off so I have more space here. So we can do our little label here. And I'm going to hold that in place with my tape. And grab the die for these flowers. And again, use a little piece of tape to hold that in place. What else do I need? There's a little tiny piece that I could use. There it is. Look at how tiny this piece is. So I'm going to cut these out with soft seafoam, and I have already put some adhesive sheet on the back. So that's going to be easy to adhere because they're already going to be a sticker. Okay, second roll through the die cutting machine. There we go. We got our beautiful sentiment. And the Post-it note tape does not rip when you pull it off. It doesn't rip the surface of the cardstock. We got our beautiful flowers, which I'm going to color with blends. And we got our teeny tiny little flower centers. And I'm not even going to take the die off. It can just stay right there because that means all the dies will stay in place. Or all the die cuts, I should say. All the pieces I cut will stay in place while I finish my die cutting. Yes, there's still more. Okay, we got another stamped fern to cut out, and then we need to cut some other ferns. So I have got, let's see here, these two fern shapes. Whoops. And I want to cut two of these and one of those out of two different colors. So let's put this one together first. And there's my tape. Okay, now what do I need? I need some mossy meadow and some old olive. I'm going to put this up at this end, put this here, put that there. Can I cut all three of these at once? Let's find out, folks. It's going to be a challenge to keep everything balanced. Okay, we're going to do mossy meadow and old olive and plate on top. And away we go. Okay. Oh yeah, look at that. Beautiful. So we got one fern and another fern. And some kind of horticulturalist probably knows the differences between these different types of ferns, but I sure don't. I just think they're pretty. Now this one did not cut all the way through. So I thought I was saving myself time by doing them all at once. I'm going to have to do it again anyway. Oh well. I think those are the last couple pieces I need to do though. All right, so let's line this up. I'm just sliding it right back into place, which is relatively easy to do. And then I want to cut this other fern out of old olive as well. I already have one from Mossy Meadow. So put those both through. That should be the last of my die cutting. Oh yeah, went through perfectly that time. Look at that. Ta-da. Okay. Thank you so much, Will. All right, all the dies can go on here and quickly be tucked aside. Except I just remembered one of my little flowers got stuck on here, so let's poke that out. There we go. All right, time to assemble. So I have got my card pieces and then all my die cut pieces, and we're just gonna make it beautiful. Let's start with putting these matte layers together. Isn't this paper stunning? I love it so much. There's something about a dark background that just grabs me. Okay, so this piece is going on an old olive mat, and then that's going on a basic white mat, and then that's going to go on my Secret C card base. Remember, when you're using your Stampin' Up adhesive, your Stampin' Seal, that you don't need to go around the entire rectangle. You can just do the corners and it will stick just fine. Okay, there we go. All right, so now let's just start arranging all these pieces how we want them to go. And I want these big ferns to go off the mats a little bit. I want them to really push outside those little boundaries. Maybe even overlap the card edges a wee bit. Okay, so we got to put this Mossy Meadow one in the center. And then this is going to go here. That's going to go there. Flowers are going to go here. Sentiment's going to go here. And we'll add the flowers and the butterfly last. Okay, so it's looking pretty great. Looking pretty great already. I'm going to go ahead and start putting this part down. So I want to use some dimensionals and some adhesive. I'm going to start with the adhesive for these big ferns. Here we go. And then this Mossy Meadow fern I'm going to put on, that's the one that's going in the center. I'm going to use some dimensionals and especially some of these edge pieces from a sheet of dimensionals, which you can cut. I mean, you can cut dimensionals as well, but you can cut them to any size you like. So sometimes I like to just cut along parallel to the edge like that, and then cut some teensy little pieces. And 3 is probably plenty. Let's see, put one there. Put one there. That's too big. Okay, we'll try these ones. Okay, that looks pretty good. No dimensionals visible behind there. So now I want to take my adhesive and put my old olive ones on first. And then this one's going to go in the center. Okay, so for my old olive ones, I'm going to use my multi-purpose glue. And I have this really cool glue press that I love to use. So this gives me a lot of control over exactly how much glue is coming out and exactly where I'm putting it. So I'm just putting kind of one dot of glue on each branch of the fern. And then I can grab my handy dandy reverse tweezers. And I really should have grabbed that in a different way, but that's okay. Put that over like that and do the same thing here. Put a few dots of glue. And I'm going to put this one up there. And finally, I'll take the backings off these dimensionals. on my mossy meadow fern. Oops. There we go. Okay, looking good. Now, let's do some coloring. I'm gonna grab my Stampin' Pierce mat just to make sure that my colors don't go onto my desk. When you're coloring with blends, they will go right through your cardstock or paper, so you always want to have something underneath, whether it's just a piece of scrap paper or something else. I'm going to start with light, what have I got here? Dark soft seafoam to color in these little buds. And then I've got light old olive, and I'm going to do the rest of the leaves here. Oh, one there too. And I'm going to add a little bit of shading with the light mossy meadow. And you'll see, I am no expert when it comes to shading or detail, but I find that the blends are very forgiving and that I'm generally impressed with how it looks, even though I'm no genius. Never thought I had any artistic ability. Okay, Dark Daffodil Delight is what I'm using for the flowers. And then I'm going to add some shading with light Cajun Craze. So, very, very simple coloring, but it looks pretty dang good, right? Okay, that's ready to add to the card. So what I want to do is have that underneath, and then the sentiment is going to go over top with dimensionals. So I'll just use some adhesive for that. Let's see. You can see what I was talking about, that the blends go right through the cardstock, hey? All right, oops. So there we go. And then I want some of my Golden Glow ribbon. And we're just going to do a little loop of that. I'm going to add some adhesive to the back of the sentiment so that I have a place for my ribbon to stick. Maybe should have cut that ribbon a little bit longer, but oh well. Now let's get some dimensionals and add that sentiment to the card. There we go. Okay, we are almost done. I'm going to add my little butterfly with the dimensional. And I'm going to put it right here. So we've got this whole theme here where the yellow and gold is tying in together, right? We've got the ribbon, we've got the butterfly, we've got the flowers here, And we've got these little flowers that we cut out on the die cut machine. So let me show you how these are going to go together. They are very cool. And I'm going to use my little glue press again for that. And my little silicone mat. So we should have 6 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh no, where's number 6? Oh dear. Oh, stuck under my laptop. I found it. Okay, so these two go together, and these two go together, and these two go together. So I'm going to start with a little dot in the center. And another one right here. This is like their little bow ties, right? I never would have figured out that they were flowers. Would have never occurred to me. And I would have felt foolish all my life. Okay. And handy dandy tweezers. Pop that there. Presto, we have a flower. Okay, and this one goes like that. But it gets even better because then we have the flower centers. Remember these teeny tiny little things? So, teeny tiny little flower centers that already have adhesive paper on them, already have adhesive sheets, so they're going to be stickers. And I'm just going to use my tweezers, or the edge of the take your pick tool would also work, to take those backings off and then pop them right onto my flowers. Okay, whoops. That goes there. What do you think? Aren't they pretty? And then this one goes here. Okay, guess what we're going to do now? Little pieces of dimensionals. Pop them onto our card. All right. Flower 1, flower 2, and flower 3. Ta-da! Look at how they look completely different. The fern arrangements turned out completely different. Final step, we need some bling, the dewdrops embellishments. And one right here. There we go. You make the world a better place. And that's our video for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for joining me today, whether live or on the replay. I appreciate it, and I hope that you will remember to take some creative time for yourself this week. And if you're looking for supplies or inspiration or how-to ideas, or like I said, a whole fantastic virtual class featuring this bundle, check out my website, inkyfingers.ca. You'll find all that and more. Have a great day, everyone, and happy stampin'. Bye-bye.